I wonder if that scream got out on Twitch.
Your mic is sensitive.
It's very sensitive. It's a gaming headset mic, so yeah, so I can mute the mic by just going like this.
Well, Jack, I'll let you know that none of that made it on the podcast, but anything else that screamed after this moment,
yes,
anything screamed into these microphones will be recorded.
Correct.
That's pretty good.
And
we need one of those.
What, like a whip? Like what?
Little
Chandler trying to do the
whip,
like
that automatic mute thing.
Yeah, it's a mute thing with the headset.
Got it.
Yeah.
Or you can just pull the cable right out of the goddamn board.
No, that makes it worse because then the mic will be from the computer.
Oh, it'll get everything.
Yeah, it'll get everything. So yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So how's everybody
listening
doing?
on the podcast have no idea what's going on. I'm doing great, boys. Had a little home improvement stuff going on here, which I may unveil at some point, but otherwise we're keeping on.
Nice.
Word.
I feel like everyone's.
Oh wait, who's that voice?
I feel like everyone's doing home improvement stuff. It's like you look outside, and I don't know about you guys, but if you check outside in the neighborhood, all you see is people either like doing walks or they're working in the yard or doing something.
Yeah. What else do we have to do?
Yeah. What else we got going on? We got to stomp the yard, man.
What is everyone over Netflix? Watch it. Is everything watched? Are they running out of things to watch?
Anything else about the goddamn Tiger King, I'm canceling my subscription.
That's pretty good.
Haven't seen a single second of it. I refuse at this point.
You watch it, Jack?
Yeah.
All of it?
Yes.
Oh man. I caught the first three episodes?
Okay.
Yeah.
I think I got 8 minutes of it. I was like, I think I'm good.
It's just like something to watch. There's nothing else to watch, and then you just can't stop looking at it, so you just keep watching.
It's like,
and so yeah.
I wouldn't say it's like. So far, it hasn't impressed me. It's not like one of those like shows where you're just like, this is a must watch. But it's like if you got nothing else to do and you need something in the background, that's a great background show, and it gets like amplified with each episode. Like it gets like wilder and
just crazy.
It's just crazy. It's just like unreal. It's just like it doesn't seem like real life when you're watching it. It's just like these people exist.
Yeah.
It's not made
up. Is it wilder than Nick Cannon's Wildin' Out?
Yes.
Yes.
That's at the high bar.
But I'm not recommending you go out of your way and make time to watch this. I just say if you're desperate for something to watch or just have in the background, put it on, but don't make time in the week to watch this.
You know what? Done.
He's never going to watch it.
There's season 3 of Friends that needs to be watched for about the 19th time this month, so I think I got plenty to keep me busy.
Go watch that again.
Oh, yeah. Rachel in 1996. Oh, boy. All right. Well, good to see you back, Ice. Good to have you back, I should say.
Good to be back.
Yeah. You had a tough week, which I think we'll get to, but Voltron is fully formed. Oh, there's the reason why you're back. You got your lifeblood back in the veins.
I'm going to make it.
At least for 1 hour. Okay, fantastic. All right, should we go ahead and start the show?
Boom, 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 boom.
That makes it harder for you to actually put the music
That's true.
into the show later, but we're going to start
it
now. From the Fairfax Studios, live from Eddie's room, this is the Badslant podcast. Check us out on our website, badslant.com, to the folks on Twitch.
Oh my God. How many have you had today?
I think we started with Stitch at around 5 o'clock, and I switched from dark to light, so that may be contributing to our issues here. But if you are not having issues on your end consuming the show, we thank you. And we got plenty of ways to consume the show. Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, TuneIn, Stitcher, Pandora, CastBox, your mother's butt, all of it. We're there. But of course, we want to find you on our website, badslant.com/support. Shopping, doing all your online shopping through Amazon, Target, and Walmart. Through our links, it helps us keep this show moving along. And I know everyone's been beat to death as far as trying to stock up and withstand what seems like an endless quarantine. But sometimes you need to get out of the damn house, and you can't go very far. So the best way to do that is to jump on a goddamn Segway, and they got them on sale right the hell now on Target.com. Segway specifically has a 9-bot go-kart kit for $7.99. They also have a self-balancing scooter. So these are two very expensive items on their own. So the self-balancing scooter on sale for $489.99, but you can get them both right now for a cool $999.99. That's
oh my god,
$1,000.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
I was like, that's too many nines there.
Way too many nines. But $1,000, you get a savings around $300 if you buy them together. It's an online-only deal. So if you're tired of stocking up on toilet paper, you got money to burn, and you need to get away from your kids or the screaming in your household, this is the perfect way to do it. You can get it on our website, badslant.com/support. Hit the Target banner and cop you a brand new go-kart scooter and kit.
Is that thing street legal? You know?
Probably not.
Probably not, but it only gets up to 15 miles an hour, and granted, we're only allowed to go within 500 yards of our own homes at this point. I think numbers approximate, but that'd be the perfect way to just kind of scoot around and just get the hell out from just being within these four walls.
I always felt like Jack's neighborhood or his old neighborhood. I'm not sure if you're still in that house or not, but you could probably ride that go-kart around that neighborhood without dealing with any cops or anything. But
yeah, it'd probably be pretty easy.
Nice burnout action.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, but here, no way, man. It's like cops galore, man. They're.
You got a cul-de-sac though.
Well, did I ever tell you that cops like literally park in front of my house? Like,
I think I've seen
it. Yeah, before all this nonsense. Yeah, they would come and park in front of my house at least three days out of the week, because it's the easiest place to catch people. So they'll park right in front of my house, stand in the corner, and it's the one part of lawyers that's at a stop sign. So everyone has to stop anyway. So they're just checking everyone for like expired tags, expired stickers, or anyone that was speeding way down before they got to the stop sign. So they're just getting people left and right, man. So like my neighborhood sucks to do anything like that, because I'll get in trouble like in an instant.
They catching everybody. Hide your kids, hide your wife, man. It's crazy.
And the weirdest part is the cops that always park in front of my house is the same one that I got a ticket through. So then I would see him there, and then I would hit up like a local like eatery like Chipotle or Plaka or someone, and of course I'll run into the same cop there. It's like the town is so small that you just see the same cops over and over. So by now, like they probably don't know me by name, but they definitely know my face. They see me more than enough times.
I was gonna say, how are you not friends by now?
I don't know. I'm scared of cops.
As you should be. You're a noted scofflaw, as documented on the show. So that wasn't the reason why you had a horrible, awful week.
Oh yeah, I've been in jail last week.
Okay, man, that explains a lot. Then we'll get to all that. You didn't really go into detail. You mentioned that there's a Tesla update of some kind, so we'll have to dig deeper there. But there's a lot of sports news. Again, no actual sports taking place, but perhaps some sports on the horizon that we can start to look forward to. And as always, booze carries the day. So we'll get to all those things. But I will cede the floor to you, sir. Your absence was noticeable last week, Ice. But we're glad to have you back this week, obviously. But what black hole did you fall into that made it impossible for you to be here last week?
Nah, it was one of those weeks again. Like every once in a while, I get myself into this predicament where I take on a little more than I can handle or should handle, and then I just get to a point where like mentally I just shut down, and I mean by the end of the week I'm just like I just can't. I mean, it was just like a whole slew of things. First and foremost, with this whole situation of staying at home and the kids being home at all times, it really tests your patience, man. I think I say this all the time to you, John. This is the best. I always tell you, please go out there, have some kids. I would love to see you make offspring someday, but this is not the time. Like, this is not the time to be stuck in a house and you can't like go out and like take the kids somewhere. So having the kids home is just I'm losing my sanity trying to find that balance. It's impossible if you're just like a stay-at-home person, and whether you're a single parent or whatever, and your job is to only watch after your kids. I think not saying that it's easy, but it makes it a lot less stressful because your focus is your kid and that's all you have to do. When you're trying to do work and a million other things on top of then trying to teach your kids and educating your kids without just plopping them in front of a TV, that's hard, man. That takes a lot of work. So, I mean, I have a lot of respect for nannies and teachers because I have no idea how they can do all that. But then that kind of leads me to like one of the things that's been on my mind last week was just like this whole thing with like, because I have my kids in a Catholic school, so we got paid tuition, and I mean it's basically like daycare, and with like upperclassmen, so they're trying this whole distant learning thing where they still have assignments and homeworks that they can do online. They can hop on Zoom meetings and all that stuff, but my kids are like 3 years old, man. They can't do anything. So the activities that they're putting together for my kids is like draw me a picture and send me an email with your picture. It's like I'm not going to pay you tuition to tell my kids to draw one picture every single day. That's just not worth it. And we spend a lot of money to send them to these schools, and our payment is due in like a week, so I'm like, I've been waiting for them to step up and put out some sort of email to like just address the issue to see like, are they gonna like defer payments, or are they gonna like say, oh, just hold off? But so far it's looking like they're staying quiet because they want people to continue paying. But I mean, I wanted to hear your opinions too. Like, think about it. If you had kids that age, do you feel it's right to pay tuition when all they do is tell them, listen, watch this video, sing this song, and draw this picture, and send me a picture of your drawing at the end of the day, and then I'll send out a group email to your classmates that here's what your kids drew today. It's like, is that worth money? Is that called education? I mean, I personally don't. I mean, I'd love to hear what you guys think.
I am in agreement. So my daughter we send her to daycare as well, but my provider is a home provider, so she has been in constant contact with us. She's much older, so she does everything by herself. And she actually was very upfront in saying, let's cancel my contract now because I'm not giving you a service.
See, I like that.
She was proactive, and she said so from the time that classes ended, 2 weeks after that, or sorry, a month after that is when we're contractually obligated to pay her.
Right.
But we're still my wife and I decided we're still going to pay her, but at a reduced rate because we are still in constant contact with her. So it's not like we're paying the full freight, but we're paying half of it. And then she's still sending us updates, things like that, to help us through the quarantine. So if your daycare is doing that, where they're being very mum about the payment, I mean, you should be the one to broach the subject, be like, hey, I'm not getting my bang for the buck. Let's renegotiate.
Trust me, the email is drafted. It's ready to go. I've just been giving them time. I'm hoping I didn't have to send that email, but
Right. You're
Yeah.
going to be the one. Yeah. And, my provider is different. She's just by herself. That's her livelihood. But not every family is able to do that. And she was very upfront about it. So she said, like, look, if you can't do it, no problem. We'll just cut it off right now. But my wife and I are still fortunate enough. We can still work from home. We're both working from home. So we decided we'll still pay her, but not the full cost. So,
Right.
yeah. So, and
Yeah.
yeah,
This
so
is crazy. I'm actually, Jack, you'll be surprised by this. I'm actually in agreement with you. It's almost like we're related or something. Yeah, I thought the very notion that you're not actually getting the same product ice that you're paying for on a regular basis should be enough of a red flag to the quote unquote provider to say, okay, maybe we need to rethink our approach to this whole thing because it doesn't sound like your kids' blackboard skills are that diesel just yet. So if they can't upload and download the assignments on their own with ease, I say it's probably high time that maybe just scrap the whole thing and just look towards next year, like the Redskins do every spring. But yeah, it's bizarre, but I actually I agree with the notion that you've already made this financial commitment in your head. So even though you're not realizing that by having your kids, number one, away from you, and two, learning stuff, perhaps you don't take that approach where you end up paying the full freight, but
Right.
you give them some of that money that you already have allotted in your head. That's already budgeted and you're capable of paying. So yeah, I'm in agreement with Jack, although I'm not happy about it.
Yeah.
And I have no, so I have no leg to
But
stand
look,
on here.
if they said, this is the email that I'm hoping they send out. It's like, look, to some degree, like, yes, we understand that we're not fulfilling our portions of the duty of educating your child and mentoring your kids and spending the time with them. So, in all fairness, we feel like it's only right that we don't ask you to pay the tuition for the remainder of the year, but at the same time, our teachers, this is how they get paid and blah blah blah. And they would be more than happy to accept donations or whatever you guys want to continue to contribute. I could, just like you, I would be more than happy to pay a reduced tuition just to continue to support the teachers because I really do feel like they were doing a great job when they were there. It's just I just don't like that they haven't mentioned it. It's like, come on, man. It's like
Check out this GoFundMe page. Rolls off the tongue so much easier.
And we donate constantly, through it, every month. There's always asking for more money. They're always doing some charity thing that we always have to donate money. We always have to give them supplies. And at the beginning of this epidemic, we even went to the stores, found cleaning supplies and sprays and all that, and donated to the classroom. And we donate constantly, and we feel like, come on, man, I don't know. So that was kind of in me up a little bit last week. The business side, of course, I think I alluded to a little bit at the end of after we recorded, just mentioning I guess with all of this, it kind of had an impact on my business, and some contracts were being canceled, and so indeed there was several contracts that I was on that was active got canceled. Some were canceled altogether indefinitely until they can sort it out. Others were postponed. Some contracts I was going after that we were actually in line or favored to win the contract. I think they had to put a pause on that too. So it sucks because all the things that I had lined up, unfortunately, I'm not a W-2 employee, so I can't just rely on my employer. So this is it's hard to hustle when you can't leave the house. You can't go to meetings. So it's been a huge challenge. So I spent a lot of last week trying to make moves without leaving the house, trying to balance everything. So there's a lot of that. There's in the government, with the whole stimulus checks that were coming out for individuals, they're also creating some. There's some allocation for businesses, small businesses. So it's not necessarily like unemployment checks or anything, but they're like to keep business running. They have these two different loans that we're eligible for, which I actually applied Badslant for one of them because we're a business.
Oh. That's the way you earn our keep.
So I mean, I've been reading all the details of trying to get a lot of that stuff in order last week. So even though I wasn't on the show, I was actually doing some business side stuff for the show, trying to see if we can get some funding there to just whatever program that we could take advantage of, since we are actually a small business. I'm trying to get all the ducks in a row for that and do all the applications and stuff. So, but what I don't like about it is they switched up the terms from the beginning of the week to the end of the week. So at the beginning of the week, I mean, it's public news, so I'll put the dollar amounts out there. But basically, the EIDL is the Economic Injury Disaster Loan. That has a you know, it's through the SBA, so you can get a loan as I think up to like 2 mil or something like that. But 10,000 of that is a grant, so that's pretty much, you know, quote unquote
Ooh,
free.
that's free money.
That's free money. So
Yeah.
and that's, you know, and that's to businesses that falls within the requirements, and we did. I mean, because we were a business as of last year, and you know, so we meet all
Yes.
the requirements.
Yes.
So
Yes.
I thought we were eligible to get 10 grand by the end of the week, and this is where a lot of people are like throwing hissy fits at the government right now. It's like they change the terms. Instead of all small businesses are eligible, it's like a first come first serve. So once they allocate all the funds, it's gone. By the end of the week, it's just you're allowed X amount per team member or something like that. It was something really whack, and so they got a shitload of hate tweets and stuff on social media. So I don't know if things are going to continue changing and evolving because of the reactions. So we'll see how that goes. So it's been spending all last week prepping all that stuff, and you know, and you know, as I alluded to, everyone's out doing yard work. So in whatever little time that I had left, I was out like hanging off the side of my house, painting and clearing out the yard. And yeah, it's so it was just like, with all of that, and it had some family stuff that I'm not going to get into on the show, but it was just like by the time it got to like actually recording a podcast, my brain was shot, man. I was just like, I can't even think about like having a happy conversation without just like having a 3-hour bitch fest. And yeah,
I kind of want that, but whenever you don't have to do it. No pressure.
Yeah, so there's a lot of that. So I mean, overall, I feel like a lot of that stuff is now kind of behind me, or kind of I've dealt with it, and so this week, you know, I'm in a better state of mind to some degree.
Yes,
Besides, I still need to get out the house. I'm tired.
Can't you just get out and run?
I don't know. That doesn't feel the same. I mean, I do. We're like, the wifey and I, we take turns of running around the neighborhood just to get some air. Take the girls sometimes to go for walks. But it's not the same, man. It's not the same.
Dude, the feds are out. Like they have bigger fish to fry. You can totally get a Segway and just do burnouts all day long. It's fine.
Yeah. But I feel, you know, after they actually mandated that stay-at-home order thing, I did notice more cop cars sitting out. I don't know if they're actually doing anything, but I do notice.
Man, they ain't doing anything.
Yeah.
They're not doing anything.
But
the more important update, I think, is the Tesla update. I'm so interested to hear what this Tesla update is.
I'm going to wager that he's probably more likely to be exploring the possibility of getting a Tesla versus getting a Segway go-kart. I'm just going to go out on a limb here.
Well,
although I know it's more economical, just saying.
Well, like a couple months ago, I think, I want to say like January, end of January, after I was wrapping up with taxes and stuff, I was like, I was like, you know what? I think maybe this is the year. Like, I've kind of strung it along. I've strung you guys along. I think I just felt like
Salesperson.
I was like, maybe this is the year. Maybe so. I had a lot of questions. Now that I'm like mentally getting to that state of mind, it's like, all right, if I'm actually on one of these things, how do I begin to prep for it? And like, I had a lot of questions about the
He was
vehicles
making
and
arrangements.
so I had a lot of questions, but I don't really like know anyone that directly that owns. Actually, I know a couple of people, but I didn't feel like calling them and bothering with questions. So I was like, let me try reaching out to Tesla directly. So I went to the website. They have a lot of these forms where you can request a
Wait, don't
callback.
you have a business card?
The guy's gone. That dude.
Oh,
That guy's gone.
goddamn shame. It was the lead he was waiting for.
I know. Just years later, but yeah. So I went to the website, and then you just put in your information, and then you say you want a callback, and so I did that. I waited. No callback. On the bottom, on the bottom websites, they
You
have
know
the
why?
little.
Because they looked at the email and said, "Get
Yeah, I
that."
know. They're like, oh, I'm flagged in the system. Just like ignore this guy. At the bottom of the
Red flag.
website, you,
Red flag.
you know how they have those little live chat buttons, and you click on and you start chatting with them. So I went through and I started chatting with them, and then
Oh my
I started asking really specific questions, and the guy on or the girl on whatever whoever it was on the other end was just like, "Let me connect you with the specialist that can help answer all these questions. Where can we call you back?" I was like, "I already give you my information, but here it is again." And so I did that.
Okay. Did that person at any point say prank call, and then you heard click?
So I did that, no callback again. And this was like before the whole shutdown thing. So one night, the wife and I had to make an errand at the mall. So I was like, I'm gonna go to the store. I'm gonna talk to him right there. So I went to the Tesla store at Tyson's Corner, and I was asking them a bunch of questions. And of course, they didn't have the answers for me. So they're like, I'm gonna call over to because their dealership. There's one just like down the street from the mall on Tyco Road or something. So they're like, let me put you in touch with my boy over there. And then
My boy.
yeah. I swear to God, I don't know why people talk to me like this, but they said they promised me they're gonna pass my information down to one of his coworkers, and he was gonna call me back and answer all my questions. No, he didn't do that either. I was like, jackass, man. So I waited weeks and I didn't hear back from any of those three sources. So I was like, screw it. I'm gonna take my ass down to the dealership. So I went straight to the dealership. I was
Oh
hoping to see
no.
that homeboy again, but I didn't
Oh
see him.
my
So
god.
I ended up having to sit with another person. I wasted more of that poor man's time.
Oh my
Hey,
god.
I didn't do a test drive this time, but I did bombard him with a shit ton of questions, and I know he was trying to put up with me, but I
Does
wasted.
it come in black?
Yeah, so I ordered one. So when I was
Wow!
Wow.
so when
What? In this economy?
no, hold up. Let me take a couple steps back. So
You backpedal pretty fast.
So I was looking at a couple models, and again, remind you, this is now sometime in February before shit hit the fan, right? So I got a lot of my questions answered. I weighed my options. I was looking at two different models, and once I made the decision, I decided let's do it. Let's pull the trigger. Like I felt good. I had like I just said, I had tons of contracts lined up. I was getting ready to sign all these contracts, and it was going to carry me through the end of the year. Everything was going to be great. Yeah, exactly. I was going to be making it rain on myself. And then I was like, okay, so I did it. I pulled the
And
trigger.
then somebody ate a bat.
Well, and then next thing you know it, here comes March coming along, and then all this Corona coming to town, and then like now all my contracts are on pause, postponed, and
You canceled. Tell me you canceled. You canceled the order, right?
Ixnay on the Eslate.
no, but let me tell you. So the model that I ordered, it was just announced last year. It was the Model Y, right? So I was looking at the X or the Y, and I wanted the X primarily for the fucking wing doors because I just thought the doors are badass. But then when I started comparing all the technology between the Y and the X, there was actually a lot technically that I like about the Y more than the X. And there's things that I like about the X more than the Y. But anyways, so overall I settled for the Y. But at the time the Y isn't out, so you can't just buy it at the store. You have to order it. And because they just announced it a year ago, there's this long wait list for the Y. So I was like, okay, if I decide to order it, I'm just gonna put my name at the end of the list. I'll wait. By the time my time comes up, it's gonna be, like probably at the end of this year or closer to January, February, a year later or something. So I was like, let me just get on the wait list now, and then I'll be good to go later. Dude, somehow by placing that order when I did and talking to the dude at the dealership, he snuck my ass into the front of the line. They found me the
Yes.
car that I
Yes.
ordered,
Yes. Yes.
and I got a text like a week later saying, your car is being shipped to you right now.
I'm so happy.
Oh my god! I was like, you gotta be kidding me! I wasn't expecting to get my car in 2 weeks, and so
2 weeks.
I kept flipping and flopping. I was like, I don't know what to do because, like, I mean, I could still go through with it. Maybe I don't. So I kept bouncing the idea off the wife. You're like, well, what do you think? I'm playing out these different scenarios, and then I'm calling the dude back. I'm calling the inspection people. Like, I'm calling all these people, and then I was like, one of the last conversations. Like, so I decided to go through with it. So I went all the way. They're getting the car ready for me. They're gonna. Because of this whole coronavirus thing. They have this contactless pickup system where you just go pick up the car waiting for you. So I get to the day before pickup, and then I wake up with cold feet, and I was just like,
Yes.
something tells me, the responsible side of me tells me something doesn't feel right about this moment of taking this car. So I had a long conversation with them, and I was like, hey, be real with me. So my options are I can take it and I'll be super happy, but because of this lockdown, I can't drive it anywhere. So I'm gonna literally pick it up from you. I'm gonna drive it home, and it's gonna stay right there and not move an inch. Or I just say give it to the next person in line. I'm not quite ready for it, and put me back at the end of the line again. And I was like, but be real with me. If I do that, when will I get this car? And then they couldn't tell me. They're just like, it could be you may get lucky again, and somehow we get you back to the front of the line. There's a chance that maybe it'll be 2 to 4 months, or worst case, it'll be sometime next year. I mean, we can't tell you.
He can't hit a sneakers raffle like he hits Teslas like
I
over.
know.
This is insane.
So I was like, so I went back and forth again. So I told them, I was like, give it to the next person. I was like,
Okay.
so there's something that just tells me now's not the time. If somehow I hit the raffle again and I get rematched with them in like a month, maybe I'll go through with it. But if it, like, I'm hoping it's like maybe in the 2 to 4 month range. I'm hoping it's not a year later, because then I'll be kicking myself. But yeah. Is that crazy? I went from thinking that it was going to be a year wait to a week. It was assigned to me, and it was like ready to go. I was like, holy hell, man. These people.
Dude, if you were blacklisted before,
I
You're gonna get.
know.
You're on the
you
Tesla
are,
ban list now.
you are on double secret probation from now until rapture. I can't believe you got to the precipice of not just jerking off dealers, but then blue balling them to the point where they're about to bust and drop the car off at your door, and you said, did you see the market today? I'm out.
I had all the financing sorted out too. I had all the detail. They ran the credit report. Everything's good to go. It was just like, nope. But I
There's an
mean,
asset on your ledger that's called Badslant that seems to be dragging everything else down. But otherwise, you're good.
oh man. But I mean, I personally couldn't believe that I somehow cut to the front of the line. But I mean, sheesh, man. I guess that can happen.
It
Like
can. It definitely can.
I blame it on the sales dude that I sat down with. I swear to God, he was feeding me all this stuff. Like, no, man, because he was trying to get me to buy the X. He was like, you got to get the X. Cause if you get the Y, you're not gonna get it for like a year from now, man. And then somehow 2 weeks, 2 weeks, man.
With pay.
With pay.
Okay, I can see the
Holy
why.
hell.
All
No.
right.
Except he won't see the wife for another year at least.
don't say that. I would be killing myself if, like, dude, every day that I look out the window, I keep waiting to see that my Y is gonna drive by and someone else is gonna be driving in it. I'm like, oh man.
That Honda ain't gonna turn into a Y magically. I'm just gonna throw that out there.
And I see all these videos on like YouTube and social media that people actually went through and picked up their Y and they're all like super happy. And I'm like, fuck you guys, man.
They're driving around in circles with their
I know. and the guy had the nerve to tell me, because I was like, dude, to be honest, like part of the main reason why I'm declining this is because I can't leave the house. You got to understand, like, what am I supposed to do? I'm going to buy this car and then I'm going to be super excited and then not leave the house. So what's the point of paying monthly payments for something I can't even use? And he was like, no, dude, this is the best time because no one's on the road. You can just let it rip. And I was like, he's such a sales dude, man. Get the fuck out of
Yeah.
here.
It's a nice
Always
car.
a salesman.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know. I don't know where to go. I can't downshift out of that.
This
No,
close,
Jack.
this close, this close. Oh, it's,
Just a little bit.
yeah, I can't hit any of these shoes, but I get hit on a car with a year wait list. Come on, man. It makes no sense.
Nope, just like your treatment of Tesla salesman makes no sense whatsoever. Holy God. You want to talk about X-Men Dark Phoenix? I don't know, man.
That movie was garbage. I don't know if you boys seen it. But...
Was that experience any better than you almost buying a Tesla for the second time and not following through? What was worse?
I think I felt the pain more with declining the Tesla than the movie. But the movie was pretty bad. I mean, I don't even understand the timeline anymore. I just don't know where this falls.
They've ruined it.
I was like, are they in the current day, or this is the past, or like, cause they're still young, but I don't know where we are.
It's a new timeline.
Just like let's just like
it's the worst timeline.
Let's just wash everything out and start over. Like I'm so over it. Like I really liked some of these characters that they casted for the First Class. Like I really do like them a lot. It's just I just don't know what happened, man. I just they went wrong somewhere. And it was too much Mystique. I don't like how they focus so much on Mystique. Like she's like, that. I don't know. Everything pisses me off about that movie.
You are not having a good 2 weeks. I'm just going to go out on a limb here.
That's bad.
Like, can you imagine, like, he comes home from not having driven home a Tesla, and he's like, I got to wash this off my palate. Let's turn on the latest X-Men flick.
It was the worst rated X-Men flick of all of the...
Was it?
Yes.
The worst?
Yeah.
I believe it.
And look, I gave Apocalypse, like, a better than fair grade. Like, this one is so, like, it's like 50 feet of cow shit, and then you get to X-Men Dark Phoenix. Like, you could argue that this movie sunk all of 20th Century Fox on its own merits. It's awful. It doesn't make any sense whatsoever. They made Xavier into a bad guy. Like, what in good God's name were they thinking in all of this? It's just a complete train wreck, which is funny because there's an actual train wreck in the thing. But it's so absurdly awful that I'm happy to say good day to Michael Fassbender's Magneto and Jennifer Lawrence's beautiful but also equally awful Mystique. it was just a disaster from beginning to end. There might have been like 5 minutes in there that were palatable, but otherwise it was just a train wreck.
Yeah, it was towards the end. That was it.
Yeah, god awful.
It's like
Right.
I was rooting for Jean Grey too, and because I don't know. I think she looks the part. It's just I think her as an actress in this role was really dry. It wasn't believable.
Oh, Lady Sansa, have
Yeah.
Jack has no idea what that means.
No,
He'll find out
Not
next
one
year.
moment. Not one bit. I don't know
Isn't
what
he
that
supposed
means.
to start live tweeting soon?
Was it this year or next year? I can't figure it out. When was that
Well, now's
timeline?
the
Like
time.
X-Men.
Jeez.
Now's the time. Quarantine
This
is here. So
He's
I
out
saw a
of
tweet.
he's out of
I saw a
Marky
tweet
Mark
today
movies.
saying, was it last year we thought that the Game of Thrones finale was the worst thing ever, and then now we hit the pandemic. So kind of puts things in perspective.
exactly 2020.
Yeah.
Literally 2020. How about that?
Yeah.
Oh God. We need a palate cleanser out of that. Like I need to divorce this conversation from another Tesla disaster, from any remnants of this X-Men deal. Jack, do you have anything that could possibly wash this horribly acidic flavor off our palates?
Yes, we have a new affiliate. Maybe not so new, but new to us. It's GoDaddy. So yeah. So GoDaddy is the world's largest and trusted domain registrar that empowers people like you with creative ideas to succeed online. Buying a domain is easy with GoDaddy's domain search tool and domain generator tools. You can find the perfect website address for your business. But GoDaddy offers more than just a platform to build your website. GoDaddy offers everything you need to create an effective, memorable online presence. And if you already have one or more of their products, transferring your domain, website, or hosting to GoDaddy lets you consolidate your web presence with one provider so it's easier to manage. For our listeners, visit our page, badslant.com/support. Click the GoDaddy banner today. Find your perfect.com starting at just $4.99. Get going with GoDaddy. GoDaddy. Cheers to that.
Sorry, Jack. Cheers. Sorry, I hijacked you out of the initial read last week, Jack. We got to maintain quality standards, but you knocked it out of the park this week.
It's fine. No big deal.
It's helpful when we remember to do the read on the show. I'm just gonna lay that out there.
I remembered after the fact. I was like,
well, after the fact, when we were just grasping at straws and trying to figure out what we did wrong without Ice on the show.
right.
By the way, I don't know if you guys are monitoring the conversations here in our stream, but we got Beerman, VA Beerman 69, and Uncle Phil on the line.
Get out of town! I should totally check on our Twitch feed every now and then to check that this thing is actually working. Oh, well, hey guys, so we're glad you guys are partaking in this Michigas as we chronicle another failure on Ice's part. But it's fine. But speaking of failures, Dana White. God, I put together our rundown for this week, and I thought, holy hell, Dana White is he's the Christ body. He's walking on water. He made the impossible happen. He turned water into wine, and he made UFC 249 go from dead in the ground to being alive and well and on schedule for execution on April 28th. We thought with Khabib bowing out of the fight, it was dead in the water, but then they found another contender, Justin Gaethje, that would resurrect the card, and he would fight Tony Ferguson for the lightweight strap. Oh, but lo and behold, that's what happens when I try to put together a summary for our show, and I do it one day too early. God, I think within like 2 hours of us going live for this show is when I saw the tweet saying that the UFC 249 was effectively canceled officially. Whatever Indian ground that they were planning to execute the card on was not going to allow that to happen. And on top of that, they're canceling every prospective UFC card that's going to be on the horizon for at least, I don't know, like a month or so. You guys see this at all? Like
I did.
Or was I?
But,
okay.
Like, he must have got some serious hammer, man. Because, I mean, Dana White doesn't listen to anyone. I mean, he does what he pleases, and he keeps the show going. And for things to get canned, like, really, like, at the last minute, it's like something major probably came down, and it's just like you either listen or you're gonna get smacked around or something. I don't know.
It was from the
So
higher ups, yeah, right?
I saw it was like
yeah,
something from Disney, ESPN, or something. Some high execs, right?
right. The quote from Dana White is that he got, quote, a call from the highest level you can go at Disney, which is the same Disney that owns everything, and the highest level of ESPN, which, of
They
course,
probably own that island.
if you know sports, pretty much, they own islands and people. So they were the ones that effectively nixed this whole damn thing. And, you know, I think ESPN is in the business of putting out content, so you know that they are interested in getting any of that content at any turn. So the fact that they would turn away brand new, live, fresh content means something. But
Yeah, I mean, Rose Namajunas' family member died from the coronavirus, so she
I
was.
think two family members.
Yeah, several. So like, there's just. I mean, he was gonna go rogue. I mean, Dana White's been talking about trying to put on an event for weeks. So he was kind of tone deaf to the whole pandemic, and now like he
Little
was
tone deaf.
a little bit, and now he was so close to getting what he wanted, like having that island where he can throw the fights, and then it just
He
got
was so
squashed.
close to selling this Tesla. Oh,
Nice.
Oh,
Yeah,
man.
so I mean, and then the memes now are just like everyone like talking about how Khabib is laughing at everybody at Dana White because he was the first one. Last week we were both kind of trashing him, saying
I lambasted him, yeah.
yeah, you definitely went in harder than I did, but now he's taking the last laugh. Like he's just like, look, I was already not trying to fight, and now you can see why. So, yeah, gallant effort on Dana White's part, but I mean, it was if the ESPN is the one saying they're the ones who are going to put on the fight, and they said no, that's a lot. That's big.
It's a big deal, but like not to like pivot the conversation to something I'm more intimately involved in. But how much better does this make Vince McMahon look? Because he was able to pull off not just one night of events. He pulled off a 2-night WrestleMania, and somehow he's got like this backdoor plan to have events recorded for weeks on end. Like it just kind of puts Vince in a completely different stratosphere because he was able to pull off what Dana White is desperately trying to execute, which is like just a closed door fight. WWE was able to do that, and by all accounts, they hit a home run. Like everybody was tuned into that. People signed up. They got a whole bunch of new subscribers to the WWE network. Like I imagine that's part of the reason why Dana was so desperate to get this thing off the ground. But man, it's crazy to think that they were able to execute that, and the UFC is just failing at every turn.
Yeah, if only he was able to ride the momentum so it was going to trickle into this ripple effect of like getting into other sports doing these like closed setting like experiences. But Jack, do you watch any of the WrestleMania?
Not 1 minute.
I you know what? I did tune into a little bit of the WrestleMania because I've never seen any of the Raws or anything that they've done like in like just a closed environment.
You don't need to.
But I tuned in for part of the WrestleMania. So I watched like a couple of the matches, and then I watched that. So I saw the ones with like that empty practice facility looking thing, and it was weird. The one I saw the Goldberg fight, and
Not worth it.
No. So I was
Totally not worth it.
it was weird. It was, in normal circumstances, I think they could have played that up pretty cool with having the crowd interaction and stuff. But then seeing them just like I don't know, hollering at each other like rah, rah, and then there's like no reaction in the crowd. It doesn't work the same. And then seeing that,
it's weird.
Yeah. And then I watched the Undertaker one, and like that really produced match, and it was interesting. I think it was.
It was fun as hell. I'll say that.
Yeah,
It was
I laughed a lot, man. I guess I don't know if I'm supposed to, but I laughed a lot watching that.
You should.
There's just so many times it was just like, oh my god, really? But it was, it's entertainment. It works. For a second,
That's all you need.
my brain shut off. I forgot about the rest of the world and what was going on, and I was tuned in, and I laughed. I had a good time, and like if they did this once a year, I think it's fun. I think it's a lot of fun if they put the right amount of effort into the script and the stage and the setting and all that. I think they could do a lot better. But overall, I think thumbs up, man. I think they did a hell of a job putting something together in a time that we had nothing. So I was digging that. I did hear the Bray one was cool, right?
It was batshit insane, and I think half of the elements would go clear over your head. But it's just like there's elements of time travel and like what if and what could be. Like,
of course.
I mean, like it's like a wrestling fan's wet dream where like they imagine John Cena as a bad guy, and like not just a regular bad guy, John Cena as a member of the NWO. Like it's completely insane, and you had no idea where they were going with it. And there were people complaining that like there's no match involved in this match, like there was no wrestling involved. Then all of a sudden, like they condense it to actual combat at some point, and it's wild. It completely different direction than anything the WWE has done in recent memory. So I think they're getting 1 points for effort and 2 for the actual quality of the thing, because the fact of the matter is they might have had, I think, 10 days from when they said, okay, we got to shut this puppy down, to where they actually had to have a product on the street, and they somehow had this thing put together, and it looks like a pretty good Sundance B flick, where and that, like, I mean, like the best kind of B flick, and they pulled it together with like the creative energy of like 3 or 4 different people, and of course Vince is kind of hovering above as our deity,
of course,
and he's kind of as always, but they made this thing work, and it's got people talking, like, and they've gone so far as where that blueprint could potentially let the Undertaker's 65-year-old ass wrestle for like another 10 years, because they could do like goofy shit like this forever.
Yeah,
like they trot his ass out once a year, and he'll have like a Michael Bay type match, and we'll all be just jerking to it.
What's funny is like the dialogue is funny. It's like the fact that you actually hear them talk throughout the fighting. It's like, what'd you say? What'd you say? Yeah. It's like weird.
Did the Undertaker just call AJ Styles a bitch? What is that?
Nice.
I was like, this is so funny. Oh man. So
I've only heard Tony Ferguson call Justin Gaethje a bitch, like live and in person. That would have been great.
So was the Bray fight a Bray Wyatt fight, or was it the Fiend? Like which one was it?
You had Bray Wyatt and the Fiend involved in this, and the fact that they recorded it allowed that to happen. Where I won't give away the ending. Kind of give away part.
No. I'm gonna watch it. Don't ruin anything.
Never mind. There are points in this whole thing where Bray and the Fiend are involved at the same time. So, but that's a byproduct of them being able to film it, and produce the whole thing. But it's goofy. It's crazy. There's a character named Johnny Largemeat, so do with that information what you want.
What?
Yeah, it's crazy. It's hilarious. It is insane. I actually wanted to have us sit together and do like a watch along, and like I've already had the benefit of seeing it as it premiered, but if we can watch it together and have
like the replay,
just commentary as we're watching.
Yeah, like we can Mystery Science Theater the hell out of this thing. I don't give a shit. It's
for 7-hour WrestleMania.
No, it's 2 nights.
Okay.
So it's broken up. So you can do like 4. I think it's 4 hours, 3 hours each night. Maybe a little bit over on one of those nights. But yeah, break it up however you want. And if you guys want to do this together, I am more than able to commit that time to you guys.
Nice. I mean, we got. To some degree, nothing but time. So I'm sure we can make it. I'm sure we can make it work.
Word.
Yeah, make it fashion. We were going to talk about the Bucks and Falcons jerseys. I don't think that really has any interest to us since we're winding down toward the end of the show. All right,
Next.
two things. Jordan Bulls documentary
Oh,
coming out towards the, I guess, less than, was it a week now? Maybe like
the
9 days?
19th.
I think so.
19th, 18th, something like
Some
that. On a scale of 1 to 10, you're at a 12 and a half, right?
Oh
To
my
see this
God.
thing hit the street.
But so they claim that a lot of this is unseen footage to everyone, and I find that hard to believe because I feel like between all of us, we've seen everything there is to see on Michael Jordan. We've seen the gameplay. We grew up in that time. Then we've seen all the highlight reels. We've seen all these produced videos after the fact. When he was retiring, he got his big farewell season where we've seen all these montages of the best clips put together. So for them to claim that they put together this 10-part, documentary on,
It's a lot of content.
and a lot of it is never before seen content, I find that so hard to believe, and that's what has me the most intrigued to have new content of Jordan. I would love that, man. And I guess like prepping up to it, like this past week, I don't know if you guys noticed, but my feed has been filled with like all these like Jordan like best ofs and stuff. So I've been watching tons of these videos, and
Gadoosh.
oh my God, it's been getting me hyped
He's the
again.
douche, yes.
I'm ready. This guy was good, man. It's like I know like sometimes like we say he's good, we say he's the GOAT, but then when you go back and watch how good he was, you're like, damn, he really was good, man.
He was better.
He was smart. In addition to being like really skilled, he was really smart on the court and with some of the things he was doing, and just like the physical too. It's like when you see how high he jumps, like his jump shot is over your defenders. It's nuts, and I cannot wait to watch this documentary and to. I just can't imagine what else it's going to show like that we don't know.
I want to hear more about when he was he for or against the trade of Scottie Pippen. Like I'm trying to figure out like what side of the fence he landed on that.
Is that even public knowledge? Do people?
I think there were prospective trades on the table where Scotty was on the block, and I struggle at this one. I know there was a story that was leaked, but Jordan obviously fell on one side of the fence. I just can't remember offhand. But I'd be interested to hear way more about that and see how that ended up getting killed because obviously he didn't get traded. But I think I saw something on Instagram about potentially Sean Kemp being traded to the Bulls in exchange for Scott Pippen. I know Ice would have won in that exchange.
I don't know. I think I would have been happy either way, but I feel like overall Pippen was a better defender. So
He's
it's like,
so much better than Sean Kemp.
yeah, like I don't think the Bulls would have been happy with Sean Kemp as
No.
Yeah, especially not Sean Kemp when he discovered Whataburger.
I wish I had the stat, but someone put out that people keep sleeping on the fact that like Pippen was like on the first team like defense for like 10 years straight or some shit like something ridiculous like that, and people he always gets no love, man. Like people don't give Pippen the credit that he deserves just because he was riding along MJ, but the guy was a beast too, man.
I think you're getting caught up in the recency effect. Like nowadays, he doesn't get as much love as
for sure. Yeah, back then we appreciated him.
He was elected as one of the top 50 players of all time.
Yeah,
it's undisputed at this point. Like everyone else is like downgrading his contributions to that Bulls team. It's just being an asshole.
Just not today. I don't think the kids today. I feel like they barely respect Jordan. I feel like they think LeBron's their GOAT. So
Ugh, come on now.
Their best dances.
not even Kobe. I don't even think Kobe's their GOAT. I think it's LeBron.
No, I think Kobe
Maybe.
probably held pretty high regard. Yeah. Okay, what's not held in high regard are the Bucks and Falcons uniforms, so we can go ahead and nix that from the discussion. Okay, this is what we really want to talk about. When can we order and receive alcohol, liquor, specifically here in the state of Virginia? I know Jack has his finger on the pulse. He doesn't give a shit about Jordan and the Bulls. He wants to know when he can get his bottle of KO Distilling delivered on his doorstep. Was there an update to this story? Because I know that the governor decreed that this was possible, but Jack, you said there was potentially some adjustments, changes?
Not changes. I mean, you're still able to get delivery of alcohol from a distillery. You just
A
have
Virginia distillery.
correct, and then you have to be able to sign for it, and obviously just show that you're over the age of 21. A new development that just happened today is that several of the ABC stores in Northern Virginia are closing starting on April 13th
Get out.
through the
What?
30th. So
They're essential.
They're
because
closing?
yeah, due to staffing restrictions, some of the
Oh, they
uh,
caught the stuff.
yeah,
Oh
they caught the COVID,
man.
and so they needed self quarantine. So it's not to say that all of them in this area are closing. It's just the one near my house is closing starting Monday. Two of them, the one in Springfield and then the one in
And
Annandale.
Bradley?
Yes, they're closing for 2 weeks.
That's
So
where I got my Blantons from.
yep.
Holy
So
You found one?
uh,
Oh,
please.
that one time. Yeah.
That one time,
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I am going to you know your boy is gonna go tomorrow to get some alcohol because I'm running low. If you can tell, like this is my last bit
Oh
of any
no.
type of liquor. So that's the update I had. So it just came out today. It was it came from
That's a
Richmond.
dagger.
It's a complete dagger, and it's all in Northern Virginia too. It's all, from what I can tell, Vienna. That's where you're at, Ice.
Yeah.
There's a one in Fairfax off Fair Ridge Drive, and yeah,
That ain't me,
yeah,
baby.
Oh
um,
man.
yeah, man.
So it's weird, so I saw initially, so I saw the article that said that they were going to start delivering. So I looked through the list of all the distilleries that are approved to deliver, and I saw KO was. So I was like, oh great. So I was gonna see if I can order something for delivery. I went to their website, and the only thing they said was like, sorry, folks, we've converted our distillery into manufacturing hand sanitizer, so
Oh,
Yeah,
no boost for you. I'm like,
Oh, yeah.
come on, man, don't tease me like this. I'm on this goose hunt to find people that'll deliver liquor now, and I went to Falls Church because I saw Falls Church. They're approved to deliver, so I went there. There's nothing on their website that talks about delivery, so I'm like, I don't know what the hell to expect now. How and I think this week the local ABCs were starting to get shipments of Terramana, the rock tequila.
Get out of Dodge.
Yeah.
I'm gonna walk out of this podcast right now and just walk
I've
camp out
been
in front
I've
of
been
ABC.
eager to. I saw the. I couldn't find a way to get there today, but my the ABC in Vienna actually had 2 bottles of Terramana today, the Reposado, and I wanted to go pick it up. I just couldn't find time to get out there, man. But 2 bottles,
I don't
that's
even know
it.
what that is.
The Rock.
It's the Rock's tequila. What rock have you been living under? My God, Jack. Are you not a follower?
Marky Mark.
He doesn't have a tequila, so I don't know
I'm
that.
surprised he
Marky
doesn't.
Mark.
I'm surprised he hasn't got into the liquor game, the spirit game.
I
You want
would.
to try my
Yeah.
liquor?
Give me back my liquor, yo.
Come on, let's do it.
What do they drink
You can
in
do it right
Boston? What do they drink in Boston? Beer?
In fear.
Sam Adams.
Oh. Does he sell
Probably.
that? Does he endorse that?
That's
I
a
don't-
horrible cocktail.
I have no idea.
Oh, did you see that Virginia bars are allowed to do takeout cocktails now? Isn't that
Ooh.
weird? Isn't that weird?
Did they start that all of a sudden?
They're allowed to. The governor said.
Yeah.
The governor said. He said from.
He's not the governor. Come on now.
But
You're spitting
He
out of
wishes.
control.
you can go to these restaurants now that's open, that's essential business, and you can order a cocktail, and you can get it to go and drink at home. I just don't know how that actually works because a lot of times the cocktail has ice in it, and by the time you drive it home, it's melted and diluted, or they put it into to-go cup and you're driving home and you're going to take a sip because it's right there. So now you're drinking and driving.
It's open container law too.
Isn't that crazy? Like, what are you supposed to do?
If you're not a rampant alcoholic like we are, I think you can wait the 20 minutes to get home and crack open the sealed bottle that contains your crappy beverage.
What are they going to seal your... They're going to put a saran wrap on top of your Solo cup. Like, that's all it's going to be.
Perhaps not, but I've seen a few Instagram accounts chronicling the trials and tribulations of cocktail bartenders, and they show the guys mixing it up in full-on hazmat suits, and then they pour it into a bottle. They ensure that it is firmly concealed and closed up. You're on your way. And then I imagine they give you instructions on the proper way to serve it, but yeah, I think they've thought this whole thing. At the very least, Virginia can bite whatever the state of New York is doing, because I imagine they're doing it in higher volume there than they are here, or they would be doing here.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. I feel like Ice has stopped talking because he saw the picture that Uncle Phil.
I was like, wow.
Yeah, he's gonna run a batch.
Like,
and,
oh my god, how do you still have
forget
that?
about the Tesla.
How do you still have that?
I'm surprised you don't.
Oh
Honestly.
my god,
It's pretty good.
that is pretty good.
Yeah,
Even on a hanger too.
it's pretty legit.
Is that silk?
And it's a champion.
Oh, I was like, is that
Maybe
silk?
It's looks like an authentic. That's all I'm gonna say.
Nice.
All right. Well, we've brought Ice back from the brink. He doesn't have a brand new car, but he's talking to us again, so that's an improvement. And he's happy. He's looking at Sean Kemp's jersey, and nothing can make him any happier. I don't think.
This made my hold on. Look at this.
Dude,
oh,
come on, man.
There you
He's
go.
zooming in.
Am I missing? Oh, there you go.
No, you're good. You're good.
Oh yeah, look at that.
That's
Uncle Phil. Look at that.
cheers to Uncle Phil.
I can't believe you have a Sean Kemp jersey.
Yo. What's this?
Yeah, he's coming correct.
Oh my
with the
god.
content tonight.
What is he? What else is he? Weber? Oh.
He's got a jersey
Oh,
catalog
no.
the likes of which Fabulous can't match. Like,
What is
it's
this?
insane.
This is Sacktown.
FABOLOUS.
That's a sack toe.
No,
That's a sack toe.
There's no love. If you had a Bullets Weber jersey, that's a different story. Sorry, buddy.
That's
I don't
true.
think Ma and Pa Weber have a Chris Webber Bullets jersey. I'm pretty sure. All right. Well, I think that's a good enough reason for us to go ahead and sign off here. But Ice, welcome back into the fold.
Thank you.
Perhaps we'll be well lubricated next week. I'm in a full blown panic at this point. I think we're out of brown liquor here in the household. So Jack has sent me on a fool's errand tomorrow. So I'll let you boys know before next week.
Please tell me if you get that Terramana. I'm going to drive by. You're going to put a shot on the front step. I'm going to take a sip, and then I'll leave. All right?
Okay.
Is it that good?
I need to know. He's been hyping it up like it's the best tequila in the world. And then
It's The Rock. My God.
Well, yeah, come on. It's the people's tequila. And he's given some to Oprah, and even Oprah has drank it without even making a face. Come on.
Yeah. My God. That's sick.
And she's not allowed to consume solid food, so you know it's good.
Oh my God.
Perhaps we'll have a taste test next week if we can get our hand.
Maybe if we all could find Terramana, let's do it on the show. That'd be pretty cool.
Terramana. Okay. I'll keep an eye out for it tomorrow.
Yeah, you're going
And-
anyways. Look for it.
Yep. Yes, sir.
If you don't acquire, I'll leave a margarita on your doorstep. Fair is fair. All right. Well, we'll see you all next week. We got plenty more to get to. Hopefully, we'll be past the worst of all of this nonsense. But until next week, up here, I'm already going.
Unbelievable. It's the worst line ever. Every week.
Still.
Later.
I hate.
Later.
Good night.
Bye-bye.